My brother told our parents she's gone crazy. Mom called the police right away saying I was a danger to the family. When they showed up, I just smiled and said, "Come on in, officer. I've got something you need to see. I'm Violet Jet, 25. Grinding away in my locked bedroom office at our family home in Palm Springs, the only place in this house where silence still exists is behind this door. I've been buried in work for hours, obsessively refining an NFT collection tied to a $4,000 drop scheduled for noon. Every shimmering pixel, every fragile line of code had to land perfectly. There was no room for error. That's when the headache flared, sharp and familiar, drilling in behind my eyes. I swallowed 2 painkillers dry and forced myself to keep going, eyes burning, jaw clenched. At exactly 10:15 on a Tuesday morning, the pounding started. Violent, impatient fists crashing against my door. "Violet, open up right now," Eli barked. "I need $200 and you're driving me to my interview now." I didn't answer. I tapped the app on my phone. The smart lock snapped shut with a solid, satisfying click. On the peephole camera feed, his face filled the screen, red, contorted veins standing out like cables. "Your pixel garbage is worthless," he spat. "You hide in here pretending you're some kind of artist while the rest of us struggle. Open this door before I break it down." From the other side of the wall, Grandma Evelyn's voice cut through, steady and fierce. "Don't let him push you, dear. Stand firm." He slammed his shoulder into the frame, the wood shuddering. "You'll pay for this, Violet. I swear you will. Subscribe right now and hit the bell. You won't want to miss the second the officer presses play and this whole house goes dead quiet." Then his footsteps thundered away down the hall toward the kitchen. I let out a slow breath, my fingers shaking over the trackpad. The NFT drop was still alive, barely breathing. $4,000 hung in the balance, and Eli's meltdown had nearly wrecked everything. I opened the security app. 2 camera feeds glowed on my second monitor, one from inside my room, the other from the hallway. Eli's face replayed, fists pounding, mouth twisted in rage. I muted the audio and hit record, then exported the clips. First to the encrypted cloud drive. Second to a USB slipped into the hidden port beneath my desk. Third, I emailed the raw files to a burner account only I controlled. 3 backups, no room for mistakes. Grandma Evelyn knocked softly, then eased the door open. The silver in her hair caught the warm glow of my desk lamp. "He's always been spoiled," she whispered as she stepped inside. "Don't give in." She closed the door behind her, the lock clicking like a promise. My phone buzzed on the bed. A message from Eli: "Mom and Dad will fix you." I stared at it. The words didn't sting. They chilled. I didn't respond. Instead, I opened my messages and called Faye. She answered on the second ring. "Via." "Okay," she said quietly, like she already knew. "He lost it," I said. "Tried to force his way in. I've got everything on camera." Silence stretched for a beat. "He's jealous," she said. "Screenshot everything, every text, every threat, build the paper trail." I nodded even though she couldn't see me, already saving. Another buzz, Eli again. "Wait till they see how you treat family." I captured both messages, timestamps sharp and undeniable. On the hallway feed, he paced outside our parents' bedroom, phone pressed to his ear, lips moving fast. I zoomed in, though I didn't need to hear him to know what story he was spinning. Faye cut back in. "Send those now." I did. Attachment sent. "Good," she said. "If he escalates, we hit back hard. This is defamation waiting to happen." I leaned into my chair, the minting dashboard blinking steadily. 3 hours and 47 minutes left. My head throbbed, but adrenaline kept the pain at bay. Grandma Evelyn sat on the edge of my bed, watching the screens. "Your father used to pull the same tricks when he was Eli's age," she murmured. "Noise, tears, drama. Thought it could bend the world. It won't bend you." I managed a small smile. The hallway feed caught Eli slipping into his room and slamming the door. The house went quiet, but it was the kind of quiet that vibrates under your skin. I refreshed the drop page. Pre-sales were creeping back up. The delay had been noticed, but no one had abandoned ship yet. Faye texted that she'd secured copies of the files too. I replied with a thumbs up and reopened the design software. The final piece needed one last adjustment, a subtle gradient to make the colors bloom properly in wallet previews. My hands moved on autopilot, muscle memory taking over. Grandma Evelyn smoothed her cardigan. "I'll make tea, chamomile," she said. "You need it." At the door she paused. "Violet, you're not the villain here, don't forget that." She left, the door locking behind her with a soft electronic beep. I stared at the screen, cursor blinking. Eli's messages sat in the corner, no longer wounds, just evidence. The minting timer ticked down. I saved the final file, uploaded it, scheduled the drop. 2 hours and 55 minutes. I checked the cloud drive again, all 3 backups intact. Then I created a new folder, Eli Incident Z01. Screenshots dragged in, labeled by date and time. Faye called back. "Twitter's watching your account closely. Any weird activity, tell me immediately." "Will do," I said. "And V, this drop's going to crush. He can't touch what you built." I wanted to believe her. The hallway camera showed light spilling from beneath our parents' door. Low voices murmured, too faint to make out. Eli's shadow crossed the hall once, then disappeared. I closed the feeds and minimized everything except the minting dashboard. The numbers climbed. Grandma Evelyn returned with a steaming mug, setting it beside me. Chamomile curled into the air like comfort. "Drink," she said, "then finish strong." I took a sip. It burned, grounding me. Clock crept past 2:17 a.m. The house slept, or pretended to. I didn't. At 11:30, a sharp, insistent knock ripped me from shallow sleep. I'd been out maybe 3 hours, the minting dashboard still glowing in sleep mode. "Violet," Mom's voice cracked through the door, thick with tears. "Open this door right now." Dad's heavier fist joined hers. "We're home. What is going on?" I rubbed my eyes, swung my legs off the bed, and checked the app. Green, unlocked from inside. I opened the door a crack. Mom Iris stood there, mascara streaked down her cheeks. "Eli said you locked him out in the cold and screamed at him like a maniac." Dad Larry loomed behind her, arms crossed, face flushed. "Open it all the way," he said. "You're the older one, start acting like it." I stepped back and let them in. Mom sniffed. Dad scanned the room like he expected wreckage. My laptop glowed on the desk, the NFT counter frozen at 87% minted. I closed it gently. "Sit," I said, gesturing to the chair and the bed. They didn't. "He was shaking when we got home," Mom said. "Said you refused to help him. Said you barricaded yourself." I opened the security app and pulled up the hallway footage from earlier. Eli on screen, red-faced, screaming, demanding money, hurling insults, issuing threats. The audio was clear. Dad's jaw tightened. Mom's hand flew to her mouth. "You filmed us," she whispered. "In our own house, that's betrayal." I shook my head. "The camera's in the hallway, a shared space. It caught Eli, not you." Grandma Evelyn appeared in the doorway, robe tied tight, eyes sharp despite the hour. "I heard everything from my room," she said calmly. "Every word. He lied to you." Mom looked away. Dad stared at the floor, the silence stretched thick and uncomfortable. I didn't break it. Finally, Dad cleared his throat. "This doesn't change the fact that you locked your brother out." "He has a key," I said, "and a car. He wanted $200 and a ride at 2 in the morning. I said no." Mom's lips trembled. "Family helps. Family doesn't bully," I said. Grandma Evelyn stepped in. "I raised you better than to reward tantrums, Iris." Mom flinched at her name. The video looped silently, Eli's fist, his mouth, his retreat. I closed the app. "I'm not apologizing for protecting my work or my peace." Dad glanced at the laptop. "This art thing is consuming you." "It's paying my bills," I said, "and his until yesterday." Mom reached for me, then stopped. "We almost called the police on you." Grandma Evelyn scoffed. "Over a locked door." Dad rubbed his neck. "Eli's upset. He feels abandoned." "He feels entitled," I corrected. They left without another word. I locked the door again, manually this time. Grandma Evelyn lingered. "They'll cool off or they won't. Either way, you did right." I crawled back into bed, but sleep wouldn't come. The NFT counter ticked up to 92% on its own. Morning light crept through the blinds. That night, my laptop exploded with alerts, sharp and relentless, dragging me from a shallow doze. The screen bathed the room in cold blue. Twitter notifications stacked fast. Violet Artificial mentioned 47 times in 10 minutes. I opened the first, a tweet from my own account. "My sister is a fraud, hoarding family money while I starve. Expose Violet Da NFT scam." A blurry photo of my wallet balance cropped to look incriminating. My stomach dropped. 2,000 retweets already. Another alert. The NFT marketplace dashboard flashed red. Drop canceled. Refunds initiated. $4,000 gone. Buyers fled, citing artist controversy. The smart contract auto-refunded every mint. Grabbed my phone. The hallway camera showed Eli's door cracked open, light pouring out. His silhouette hunched over a desk, fingers flying across a keyboard. He'd hacked me from the next room. I dialed Faye, she answered groggy. "It's 3 a.m. He took my Twitter," I whispered. Posted lies, killed the drop, silence, then rapid typing on her end. "Logging in now, two-factor bypassed, old recovery email, you shared it years ago." She cursed it under her breath. "I'm resetting everything. Report the tweets for impersonation and harassment." I opened the report form, fingers shaking, screenshot the hack evidence. "Login from local IP, timestamp matching." His light phase voice steadied me. "Account locked, tweets deleted. I've flagged for expedited review." The marketplace email confirmed funds reversed. $4,000 vanished into ether. Grandma Evelyn knocked once and entered. Hair and rollers, saw the lights. "What's he done now?" I showed her the screen. She read the tweet, lips thinning. "He's digging his grave." Faye texted support. "Ticket and restoration pending. Say every log." I exported the breach data IP. Log session, it's zipped and sent. The Community discord exploded. Loyal holders asked questions, trolls piled on. I pinned a message account. Compromised, working on fix true drop. Soon Eli's door slammed, footsteps. Retreated downstairs, Faye called back. Twitter's reviewing might suspend him. If we prove the hack, how forward the IP? Match, I'll cross-reference with your router logs. I did, the file attached. Heavy with proof, Grandma Evelyn poured water from my bedside bottle, drink. You'll need clear head for war. I sipped, the burn in my chest wasn't thirst. Marketplace support replied. Refund complete, relaunch at your discretion. $4,000 poof, rent. Groceries next month's ads, Faye backup. Account ready, my great followers there. I created Violet Artrial, pin the hack. Announcement, followers trickled over. Eli's original tweet still lingered in quotes. I reported each, Grandma Evelyn. Sat on the bed's edge, he thinks. Internet's a toy, it bites back, Faye's final text report filed as cybercrime. Cops might knock, I stared at the ceiling, the drop page mocked me, 0. Sales, router logs confirmed login at 2:47 a.m. from 192.1680, 1.105 Eli's laptop. I saved everything to a new encrypted folder, hack01. Community manager DM'd, we believe you. Holding spots for relaunch, small mercy. Grandma Evelyn stood, sleep if you can. Tomorrow we rebuild, she left, I closed the laptop, but the pings echoed in my skull. A firm knock echoed through the house at 9:15, 3 measured raps that cut the morning quiet. Mom's voice floated up the stairs, police Violet. Come down, I saved the relaunch files. Closed the laptop and descended. Officer Harris stood in the foyer, badge glinting under the chandelier, notebook in hand, tall mid-40s, calm eyes. Wellness check, he said, tipping his hat slightly. Your parents say you're unstable, possible self-harm or a threat to others. Dad hovered behind him, arms folded. Mom wrung her hands. I smiled. Small and steady. Officer, please come to my room, I have something to show you. He nodded, following me upstairs. Mom and Dad trailed like shadows. I led him through the door, gestured to the desk chair he sat. I opened the security app, first hallway feed. Timestamped, Eli's rage fists words then. Room feed me locked and working next, the encrypted folder, Twitter hacklo logs, IP. Match deleted tweet screenshots of the fraud post, marketplace refund. Confirmation. Officer Harris scrolled, expression unchanging. This is thorough. Eli's door creaked open down the hall, barefoot hair to household. He shuffled out in boxers and a wrinkled tee. What's going on? The officer looked up. Sir, step back. Eli ignored him, peering in. She called the cops on me. Officer Harris stood, false. Report to authorities, cyber harassment. Via account compromise, evidence here. Points to you, he tapped the screen. Leave her alone, no contact, no posts. No proximity. Eli's face twisted. She owes me. That money was for family. Officer Harris's voice hardened. Out of this room now, or I cuff you for the report alone. Eli froze. Mom gasped. Dad finally spoke. Son, go back inside. Eli shot me a venomous glare, then retreated. Door slammed. The officer turned to my parents. Ma'am, sir, this call was unnecessary. Your daughter's stable, productive, and documented everything. Recommend family counseling, not law enforcement. Mom's eyes welled. Dad nodded stiffly. Officer Harris faced me. File a formal report downtown if you want charges. Harassment, computer fraud, I'll endorse it. I will, I said. Thank you. He handed me his card. Any escalation, call direct. Footsteps receded, front door shut. Mom lingered in the hallway. We thought you've thought wrong. I cut in, closing my door. Lock clicked. Grandma Evelyn appeared from her room, sipping coffee. Told you, evidence speaks louder than tears. I exhaled, long and shaky. Officer's words replayed. Leave her alone. Downstairs, muffled voices. Mom crying, Dad pacing. Eli's music blared through the wall, then cut off abruptly. I reopened the laptop. Marketplace Supported approved relaunch, slot. Booked for next week, Faye texted heard. Sirens you okay, better than okay. Replied cops saw everything, warned him. Off hell yes sue for damages too, I. Screenshot the officer's card added to the folder the house settled into. Uneasy quiet no more knocks, 2 days. Later a certified letter sat on the kitchen table envelope, thick and official. I'd mailed it yesterday, cease and desist from my lawyer plus demand for $4,000 old loans, Eli never repaid. Plus drop damages, return receipt. Requested mom picked it up first eyes widening at the law firm stamp, dad. Peered over her shoulder, they exchanged glances then called Eli down, he thundered downstairs snatched the letter and tore it open, his face drained as he read, you're suing me not. Yet I said from the doorway, this is formal notice pay or face court, dad. Crumpled his coffee mug grip, we're done. Funding your chaos Eli, no more. Allowance no car insurance no roof if you pull this again, mom nodded voice. Trembling but firm, out in 30 days. Find a job a place, we're cutting you. Off Eli's mouth open closed, you. Can't we can dad said and we are. Grandma Evelyn entered leaning on her. Kane he needed this wake-up call, Eli. Stormed back upstairs, boxes thumped. Overhead all afternoon, my phone rang. That evening, Eli I let it voicemail. He left 3 first angry then. Pleading finally sobbing, sis I'm sorry I messed up don't do this I. Blocked the number Faye texted letter. Served sign for parents enforced. Eviction legend, collect that 4K the lawyer emailed if no payment in 14 days file small claims I forwarded to the evidence folder mom knocked. Hesitant we saw the loans years of them we enabled him, dad added gruffly. 30 days starts today, Eli's friend. Arrived next morning hauling his gaming. Set up into a pickup he avoided my eyes. Grandma Evelyn watched from the porch. Consequences taste bitter but they teach by day 10 his room emptied. Posters down closet bare, he tried mom's. Phone blocked dad's blocked, a final. Text from a new number I hate you. Blocked the house breathed easier, no. Slams no demands lawyer update, no. Response proceeding to filing, I. Transferred the claim docs, $4,000 plus. Filing fees mom baked apology cookies. Left them outside my door, I ate one. Dad fixed the hallway camera without asking tighter screws, Eli crashed with. A buddy job hunting sign said, Grandma. Evelyn raised her tea and toast. Boundaries enforced, peace restored. The 30 days ticked down, 6 months later. Packed the last box, taped it shut and surveyed the empty room, the relaunch. Drop had exploded $20,000 in primary sales alone, royalty still trickling. I signed the condo lease downtown. 1 bedroom, floor toe-ceiling windows. No shared walls, movers hauled the final load. Grandma Evelyn handed me a thermos of coffee for the road, proud of you. Kid I hugged her tight, couldn't have held the line without you, the new place. Smelled of fresh paint and possibility. I set up the desk facing the city. Skyline minted the next collection. Peace, no interruptions, no guilt trips. Faye helped unpack. 20 grand, you're a brand now feels surreal, I admitted hanging the first framed NFT on the wall, word filtered. Back about Eli valet at a mid-tier hotel. Red vest in all parking luxury cars for tips. He shared a cramped apartment with 2 coworkers, microwave dinners and shift work. 1 afternoon mail forwarded from the old address included a handwritten envelope, mom and dad's script. I opened it on the balcony. We're wrong, we see it now, please come home for dinner, we miss you. I read it twice then tore it into confetti. Let the wind scatter the pieces over the railing. Phones blocked addresses. Changed permanent. Grandma Evelyn visited weekly bringing homemade pie. They ask about you, she said once. Let them I replied, actions have echoes. The community grew, collaborations. Interviews a verified checkmark. Revenue hit 6 figures, Eli's social Showed forced smiles in uniform, no more. Gaming setups, I donated the security system to a women's shelter. Living together doesn't mean living for them. Boundaries start at